All right. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ydkb in the new studio, episode 2. I don't know the exact episode number, but in the new studio, episode number 2. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. Got my guest today, Connor.
Let's go.
Y'all might recognize him. What's going on, bro? Glad to have you in the studio.
I'm so excited to be here.
We're cheesing because today we got a live mock draft for y'all. And you know what else can I say? It's a live mock. It's going to be tons of fun. And Connor right here is going to do the coin toss for us because we need to figure out who's drafting first.
That's a great point. Actually, we're going to have Siri pick it for us real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So is it heads, even pick, odds?
That's a great question.
Tails?
I'm thinking, let's go. Why don't you just pick? Do you want heads or tails? And then you'll go
All right,
number one and then you'll get odds.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be heads, and if I get one, then I'll go one.
All
okay,
right, perfect.
Hey Siri, flip a coin. It's tails. You got number one.
Okay, Dobbs. Dobbs has odds. Connor has
boy.
evens.
Now you guys know where I'm
boy.
going.
So are you ready to pick?
You know I'm ready to lock it in the first 5 seconds.
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select.
It's got to be Bryce Young. It's got to be Bryce Young. Let me tell you guys something. Right now, a lot of people think CJ Stroud's the guy. And I get it. CJ Stroud's an amazing prospect. Now, my thing is, like I was telling Connor before we started, Bryce Young just has the X factor. Now, what do I mean? This is different Alabama than it was recently. Like this year, and even last year, Alabama was kind of in that zone where they normally have the best O-line in college, the best receiving core in college. You know, especially on offense. Their offense is always juiced. But recently has not been as much the case, you know? Solid O-line, solid receiving core, but nothing amazing. But that's the thing is, who was helping it? Who was the one holding it all down?
Bryce held that whole group together.
Every single game, because obviously I'm an LSU fan, so you know me, Alabama, I'm not rooting for Alabama ever. But every single game, Bryce is going to hang in there, hang in the pocket, every snap. You're like, he's going to get sacked. He's going to throw a pick. There's pressure in his face. No, he will dime it. He's going to find a way. He'll find his check down. He's going to maneuver defenders with his eyes, and then he's going to make moves all game long. He's a special talent. I truly think so. Special enough that I'm willing to sacrifice the 5 inches to draft him number 1 overall over another amazing quarterback prospect.
Right. I feel like everybody's concern with him is the height and his stature, but when you look at his tape, he never really takes any bad hits. He's always getting out of the way just slight enough to not really get killed. And I think that's a trait that a lot of elite quarterbacks have, is the awareness and, you know, not to take the big hits. So I like that pick at 1. I really do. All right, Hunter, take it back to you.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select
CJ Stroud. So because Bryce Young goes 1, CJ Stroud is going to go 2. I think what you're seeing lately is all smokescreen. Texans aren't going to draft a quarterback, blah, blah, blah. This always happens before the draft. You never want to show your cards too early or else you're going to be taken advantage of. And with this spot, the Texans get a quarterback. Josh McCown is not the offense coordinator in Houston, is he? No. He's
the QB coach
in Carolina.
He's a QB coach in Carolina. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's why you had the thing there. But I do think that CJ Stroud brings a sense of youth to this team, and they really don't have a direction yet. This pick really sets them going off and where they want to be.
I love that pick. It's kind of like right now, they're going 1 or 2. It seems like you kind of just got to all trend off of it.
Right.
The 1 and 2 is always, you know, we just got to keep it simple for 1 and 2.
Right, exactly.
With the third pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select.
Well, actually, you caught me a little off guard here, but you know who the Cardinals are going to select? The Cardinals are going to play it smart. They're going to draft Will Anderson because there's another guy I would like here on the defense, but it's a little bit more risky. With Will Anderson, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're getting a smart, elusive, destructive. There's just every good adjective for a defensive lineman. He's in there every snap. He's relentless. And he's got great size. And he did it every single year. We know he's one of those guys where you're getting an incredibly high floor. And when you're drafted in the top 5, that's all you're looking for, really. Will Anderson gives you an incredibly high floor. So many good things about him. A lot of people compare him to Von Miller. I feel like I'm not going to say he's that amazing of a prospect, but you're getting someone pretty close. And when you're drafting to edge top 3, that's all you can ask for.
Right. I feel like the Cardinals just need elite players. They need a lot of talent. And with Will Anderson, you know for a fact you're going to get a really good player. And that's all they need right now. Some stability, somebody to build your team around. I think Will Anderson's a great pick for them.
Past few years, we know they've taken a few home run shots potentially in the first round, where some guys where they have a little bit, you know, the body type's maybe not meant for the position, and you're kind of like, what are they going to do with them?
Mhm.
And it hasn't necessarily panned out really.
Right.
So this is their chance to just make it right, get a for sure Pro Bowl talent. That's what you got to do, Arizona.
I think with the new regime too, new GM, they want a stud. They don't want to mess up. They don't want to look bad as their first pick. They're going to take Will Anderson. I really like that pick.
All right. With the 4th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select
Quarterback from Florida, Anthony Richardson. I really like Anthony Richardson. He could be very well the best quarterback in this draft. The thing about drafting quarterbacks is we really don't know until they hit the field and start playing at the NFL level. And I think that what he does to the run game, being a mobile quarterback, is extremely valuable. And when you have Jonathan Taylor, you have the great O-line. It's a little shaky now, but that's like where the best part of their team is the foundation of their O-line. You want to lean into that. You want to be able to run quarterback options with Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. Like, that is a cool combo.
Hey, Shane Steichen came to bring the Jalen Hurts offense to Indianapolis.
That's a great
I didn't really
point.
think about this till just now. But yeah, you know what? It's not going to be the same old Indianapolis Colts offense as we've seen the past few years. This is going to be a read-centric offense, nice and simple. Give a Richie 2-3 reads. Let him gun it down quickly. Doesn't have to be anything complicated. We know he has a lot to learn. We're not going to sit here and debate it. We're not saying he's going to be an all-pro year 1 or even year 2, but he has the chance to be year 3, 4, and beyond. And it's just, it could be an absolute grand slam pick.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think about staying checking because that type of offense around Anthony Richardson could be lethal. That's a great point. I think I think that might happen. It could happen.
something else is they also have they already kind of have the pass catchers there.
Yeah.
You have Pittman and Pierce was showing out later in the last year. So it's not like he's going into like a shitty situation. And I think he's raw. Don't get me wrong, but like not as raw as like everyone's making him out to be.
Right. I agree. His floor is a lot higher than people make it to seem.
Absolutely.
All right. With the 5th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select
Seattle Seahawks are going to surprise some people because they're going Jalen Carter. You're going to get, in my opinion, the best defensive player in the draft.
Yeah.
And again, it's risky. Not to me. I've watched every single game over the last 2 years, and he dominates every single game. He gets gassed. He gets tired. Everybody gets gassed and tired, especially when you're playing a ton of snaps against the best competition in the entire sport. Jalen Carter is elite. Jalen Carter's only going to get better. He's only going to get probably a bit leaner. And with the right D-line coach, it's just going to get scarier. Again, if you have any doubts, what you need to go do is put on Georgia tape and just watch it over and over and over again till you realize he is a man amongst boys. And then you'll realize that this is actually a safe pick and you've been lied to being told it was a risky pick. And I'm sorry.
Everybody that I've seen that has watched his tape, they'll be watching somebody else and they'll be like, oh yeah, I was watching Booty's highlights. And then I just saw Jalen Carter just destroying everybody. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you have a guy on the best defense in college football history, and he was the best player for 2 years. Like that sounds, when I say that out loud, just like how Jamar Chase was the best player for that year, sat out, but it would have been 2 years in a row, super young, and he kind of got picked top 5. Jalen Carter's going to go top 5 too. It just makes too much sense. Seattle's going to get probably the best player in the draft at 5, and like they still have more picks, a ton more picks.
Seattle might be cooking.
That's nasty. That's really nice.
With the 6th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select
Cornerback Devon Witherspoon. This might be the most, consistent pick that you're going to see. They just got rid of Okuda. They need cornerback help. They already have a little bit of U of I players on their roster. Kirby Joseph, the safety. I just think it makes too much sense. This is one you're going to see a lot, and for good reason.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say about this. First of all, love the pick. I didn't know he was going to go this high for us, but you know what? It's a good spot for him because again, we were just saying the other day we saw Jeff Okuda go 3 a few years ago, And that was a huge reach. But Devin, first of all, we know you're getting an amazing. You can start him at the worst. His floor is being an amazing slot corner. Mm-hmm. You get someone you can plug in and be like, go destroy the running back. Go destroy the tight end. You go blow up this play for me, because he loves doing that type of stuff. He loves getting his nose in the football. And you know what? When you get a corner who has amazing ball skills, we know he's a fast runner. That 4.4 has never been released. We have been confirmed he's ran a 4.4 by multiple GMs. I believe them. Why would they lie about it? He's got speed. He's got agility. He loves getting his nose in the football. That's the three boxes for a corner prospect. You got to be able to get the nose in the ball, and he loves doing it. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I love seeing him go this high.
He just fits Dan Campbell's kind of team, nasty.
Exactly.
He's bringing a little bit of nastiness to Detroit.
He's bringing the nastiness. Exactly.
With the 7th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select.
I'm sorry. I'm debating.
It's tough, man. It is tough.
Oh, I'm debating between two people. The Raiders are holding up the entire draft. We apologize. But you know what? The Raiders are going to surprise some people right here. We're going Peter Skoronski.
Oh.
Let me tell you why. Raiders O-line, shore it up. And Peter Skoronski, we don't really know where he's going to play yet, right? Oh, he could be a tackle. He could be a guard. Me personally, I would move him to guard. A lot of people say that too. I think that's the move. I was saying this about Tevin Jenkins, but last year, he's got all the skills to be a great O-lineman. When the arms are a little bit short, sometimes it's really hard to go against guys that got 36-inch arms. It's a little bit hard to get that leverage. But I put you to the inside. You just got to get that push every snap. And he loves doing it. Again, loves doing it. He's a physical player. It's basically foolproof if I plug him at guard. And in the Raiders O-line, I kind of got a few spots I might need to fill. And we just kind of try out in camp and see where we're feeling you best. And again, floor player. I know you have a really high floor. When I'm drafting top 10, I'm looking at a high floor. Skoronski gives me an incredibly high floor. So with that said, I love this pick right here.
I think what you said was foolproof is the right word to say for that, because Mayock's had a lot of swings and misses. He needs to get a hit, and Skoronski is a hit for sure. He might be a single, but it's a hit. That's what matters.
We got to get on base here, right?
Mayock has to get on base because he struck out too many times.
They need to get on base.
With the 8th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select
edge Tyree Wilson. I think Tyree Wilson's length is something that is going to be desirable at the NFL level. I think when you have a guy that really can set the edge with that length, be a pass rusher, and being very good in the run defense, for a team like Atlanta, that's what they're putting together right now, is they're trying to win. And this is a winning move for them. This is an edge player that might be a cornerstone for your defense, that a defense has been really bad the last couple of years. So they need to shore that up, and that's who they're going to go with this pick.
I love this pick. So people have been a little, iffy on Tyree. I love Tyree. I loved him the whole process. I've always told Hunter, because Hunter's one of those guys who's a little iffy on him. I think he's going to be, few of his measurables, where it is, it's a little where you're a little concerned about it. But I think we know he's 6'7". He loves, and I think my favorite thing about him is in the run game. He's already a solid pass rusher, but he's an amazing run defender. Mm-hmm. Falcons, just add another run defender in there. Get the pass rush developed over time. Amazing size. It's a pretty foolproof pick, to be honest.
Right.
I see it too, if he is a hit for the Falcons and say they do take him, that defense transformed.
Mm-hmm.
Transformed. So it's crazy because you look at that team and it's okay, the question mark is now the quarterback.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm. You can compete if you get a quarterback.
They have
they turned into the Jets.
Who'd they sign? Heineke? They got Heineke now.
Dude, he's the insurance policy I was saying last week.
He is gonna fight and claw for those wins, that's for sure.
He literally said he's gonna give you, we'll win you every other game, you got your insurance guy.
With the 9th pick in the 2000, I'm gonna restart that one. With the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select.
See, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting on this one. I know who I'm going with. Let me tell you. Paris Johnson Jr.
Yes.
Oh, he's been falling down the boards. Oh, no. BS. Man's has terrific size, consistent on tape. And my favorite thing about him for this pick right here is you get him back with this guy, Justin, right? Mm-hmm. You get the communication's already there. They already have thinking on the same level. You already have tons of reps together. And for an O-lineman, for a whole group where the entire issue has been they don't really work, they haven't really been protecting Justin well. They need to protect Justin. Who better to throw in for the guy immediately? We need you to protect him than the guy who already has been protecting him.
Right.
Right?
Right. I think that's a great pick. Honestly, I've seen a lot of stuff about how his raw talent with the right O-line coach, he can be an all-pro tackle. And the Bears haven't had an all-pro tackle in the longest time. And it's exactly what we need, because if we shored up a lot of our offense already, getting a tackle like Paris Johnson, it just takes away so much of the noise. It's Ryan Poles can't do this. Bears can't protect their quarterback. Justin Fields can't, evade any sacks and whatnot. But like this is just going to quiet the haters, and I'm really happy that they're just done with it. Get the tackle and be done with it.
We had to.
Right.
With the 10th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
The Eagles are going to be taking Darnell Wright, tackle from Tennessee. And I think this is a fantastic pick because I like this player so much. When you watch his tape, a lot of offensive tackles, just kind of react. They don't really have plans when they go into, facing a pass rusher, especially of good stature like in the SEC, like Darnell Wright has done. He has a plan, and he switches up his moves. He's always the aggressor. He's not the one reacting. He's putting the power to the defensive end. And that's what I really love about this guy. I think, he's got some issues, but with an offensive line like the Eagles have had the last 10 years, I think this would be the perfect spot for him to just thrive, learn, and just probably in his second year, be a starter and be very good. Hopefully replacing Lane Johnson. Rest in peace when he does end up retiring.
I love this pick so much. I was trying so hard not to cheese when you said it. This was exactly who I thought of when we were saying a tackle to replace Lane. I couldn't have said any better myself. I'm cheesing.
Yeah.
Cheesing, bro.
With the 11th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select.
I think I'm going to surprise some people here. But you know what? I think they have to do it because here's how I'm looking at it. The Titans are one of those teams in a position where you got to start building up what's important. You don't really have anything going for yourself right now, right? So a guy I love is Broderick Jones. And you guys know how I feel about O-lines. They're the cornerstone of every good team. Get yourself a guy who's still kind of raw, but has a top 2 ceiling of any tackle in this class. I love Broderick so much. I've been saying Hunter for a couple weeks now. He definitely could be the best tackle in this class. And we look back at it in a couple of years, and I don't want him to fall. If I'm drafting, he can't fall past 15. You get him right here. What are we? We're at 10 or 11.
This is 11.
Let's say so. We're getting him here at 11. I love him right here. Again, we don't really know Dillard. I know they got Dillard, but it's like, is Dillard the long-term solution?
No.
I don't like Dillard.
No, if anything, he's good depth. He's really good depth. But that's the thing is you get your guy right here. You get your guy, and then if Pettit Free is not playing good over there next year, you can also move him around. You can move any of them around, but you got good young tackles, and that's what you need. Every good team needs a good core and good depth at their tackle.
We just had a string of 3 tackles drafted in a row, and this is very reminiscent of that Wirf, Becton draft where like Andrew Thomas, they all went like kind of in the same range because with offensive tackles, it's really pick or poison.
And it's a run too. When one goes, you start scratching. You're like,
everybody's like, I need it now. I need this pick now. So that I like that pick a lot.
With the 12th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select
Quentin Johnson, wide receiver from TCU. This has always been my pick here at 12. I mean, it just makes too much sense. They need weapons. He's from Texas. He played at Texas Christian University. He brings length. I think when you're drafting a quarterback in this draft, we had them getting Stroud. You need to get him some weapons. So getting Quentin Johnson, getting quarterback, receiver, that little duo in the first round of the draft that's a home run. It's a home run for the Texans.
Absolute just grain slam. You know what I was saying about Quentin Johnson before he started? I really do see, and people are going to hate me for this, but I don't care. I'm here to drop my opinions, whether you like him or not. When I watch Quentin Johnson, I really see someone who can hit a Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins ceiling. Absolutely. And I know the drop issues. He drops the ball. Go watch Devontae Adams in college. And you come back to me, and you will realize that there are really good prospects, really elite size, really elite everything about their body that have drop issues. It's possible. Get yourself with a good receiver coach. Right. Get yourself in a good offense. Learn the offense. Get good coordination. Get good chemistry with the quarterback.
Right.
It's going to be a wrap. And, CJ and Quentin sounds like a nice duo.
That's nice. Good
accurate quarterback throwing on the ball.
Whew. That's nice.
I always have been, after listening to all these mock drafts and stuff in the draft season, I've always thought the idea of getting that quarterback and that receiver right away, I think that's the way to go.
I agree.
With a 13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select.
Okay, I'm gonna hit a home run right here. You guys are gonna be cheesing. You guys will be cheesing at this one. Here we go. All right, so the New York Jets are gonna take a huge home run shot here. Because again, though, you know what? The Jets about to get A-Rod. They're already stacked up. And you know what? You're shooting for a Super Bowl. You got it. Like I said, you got to take shots to win in this league. And you know a guy who's kind of a 50-50, but you got such a good upside? Miles Murphy, man. Let's get Miles Murphy on that D-line. Carl Lawson, maybe not healthy all the time. You can rotate guys. You can, not how I feel about Solomon Thomas. Rotate a few guys around. You get yourself a good D-line of just guys that can rotate in and out. Miles Murphy doesn't need to be playing every snap, but his ceiling is so high. Get him in there, I love him right here.
You know how Salah likes, how he feels about his defensive lineman. He wants some dogs up front. Miles Murphy is a dog.
He's a dog. He's got great length. And again, you're not going to get the best player by the end of the year, but by the end of year 2, year 3, you could have an absolute monster.
Right. And that's what I think teams should be shooting for. You're shooting for the monsters. You're shooting for the future.
Exactly. Shooting for the future.
My bad. No, with the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select
Jackson Smith and Ydkb. And this is crazy. This is a crazy pick because everybody knows how the Patriots have been drafting first round receivers. Like we all hear the narrative about how they draft the receivers and whatnot. And this pick is probably going to be wrong come the end of April because the Patriots they selected Cole Strange last year in the first round. Like who does that? The Patriots, They do things differently, but I think this would be a great move because they have no real world beaters on their weapons besides their running backs, and you can't thrive in an NFL, in the NFL without some weapons. And getting Jackson Smith, a lot of Julian Edelman comps, there's that going for him. He's a quarterback's best friend, and you kind of want that for Mac Jones. So they're gonna go Jackson Smith and doubt the haters about their ability to draft receivers.
I love this pick so much because first of all, it caught me so off guard.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing pick. Like, I mean, on a serious note, if you're Belichick, you can't be sitting there and not hearing that all these great receivers coming out and all these great coaches there that are like, yeah, no, that guy's way better than all those other really good guys. I mean, Belichick knows his football. Belichick's gonna be sitting there saying, if I could get a guy that's better than Olave and Garrett Wilson at 15, he sure as hell has got to be thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the boys have got to be at least discussing it.
100%.
I love that pick so much.
Where would you play Juju?
I don't think it really matters. Like, at least, I think Jackson can be an outside receiver. So I could still play Juju in the slot.
Okay. If Tyquan Thornton develops, their receiving room's not that bad.
Right.
And it kind of screws the Packers at 15.
It's not bad.
They wanted Jackson.
And it's incredibly elusive. They got like an elusive receiving room if this happens.
Mm-hmm.
With the 15th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select.
I'm feeling good about this one. We're going Brian Branch right here. We're going to take the first safety off the board. Packers need a safety. They need someone else who can come play in the box. Let me introduce you to Brian Branch, all right? You can move him around a lot. Versatile guy. He's got big Chauncey vibes. That's what I'm going to give him. He's a big Chauncey vibes. He's got big CJ, big Chauncey vibes. So yeah, you're getting a player with the high floor. How about that? You're getting like a CJ floor player, and there's not really too much to say. But he's a good run defender, good in coverage. You can throw a little man in there. What else? What more can you ask for a modern box player? And also you can throw up top too.
I had this exact pick in my mock too. So we're the right wavelength there. Like, I don't know, but it just makes too much sense. Darnell Savage has been playing well. We're not sure if Adrian Amos is going to be back, and the Packers have been really trying to mold that defense the last couple of years. They're going to stick with that trend. Still have the same GM. They're going to probably go defense. This is probably the best defensive player outside of cornerback in the draft right now. So I like that pick. I like that pick a lot.
I love the pick. I also would have loved him on the Jags. The Jags would have been scary.
Yeah, would have been cool. Crazy.
That would have been pretty nasty.
With the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select
Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon. This is one of my favorite players in the draft. I kind of tend to fall in love with corners that have the best ball skills and what I like to see is, do they rotate their hips really fluently? Like, I think Jair Alexander is a great example of that, of just a cornerback that can really flip his hips whichever way. And that really helps stick with corners, especially with how good the route runners are in the league right now. I think he's just, I don't want to say foolproof, but I really don't see him not panning out. Like, this guy is probably going to be a really good player in the NFL. And I think Washington needs the cornerback help. They haven't had a good corner in the longest time. Rest in peace, Josh Norman, for his couple years he spent there, even though he wasn't good at that time. But that's the last named corner you can remember.
No, as you're saying about the ball skills, bro, he's amazing around the ball. And we know you're getting an elite zone corner. He can play man as well, but he's just elite in zone. Fits the scheme great. I love the pick. Fire.
With the 17th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select
going Joey Porter Jr. Because you know what? We need a corner. We need a corner that can play man in zone really well. He can press really well. He's physical. Joey Porter, I just think, especially because you took Christian Gonzalez, he just hasn't been my guy here. I knew I wanted to go corner. The guy I really would have liked to have is not here. That's fine. We love Joey Porter too. We love his upside. We love his length. Great size. He's a Steeler.
I don't think there's a better spot for a corner to be in than Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin's defense. I just feel like they all thrive no matter what. So getting a first round guy, I don't think they've gotten one in a while. He's going to be a stud for them.
Good against the run too. He got Steeler vibes.
That's a good point. It's a very good point.
With the 18th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select
quarterback Will Levis. What? He had to go somewhere. I pushed this narrative a while ago. They didn't have to draft a quarterback at 5. They're going to get one this late. It's just something you can't pass up on. If Will Levis turns out to be really good, this is the best pick in the draft. If he turns out to be really bad, sign Goff again. You really can't go wrong. It's sort of foolproof. They really want to win a Super Bowl. They got to get a high-level athlete and an elite quarterback. Will Levis could be that.
All right, so let me start off by saying obviously I was a little shocked, but I'm sitting here, I've been thinking about it. I love the pick because really, there's really not a better team to take the shot on him right now.
Right.
Where you have, if it pans out, it was perfect, like you said, and if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world at all. This is kind of like their pick. They can really, I don't want to say fumble, but you could sacrifice it if worse came to worse and down the road as long as you kill the rest of the draft.
100%. And, he kind of fell in this mock. So I think, why not take a shot?
Why not?
So we said before, we were like, you got to take risks to make it big in this league. And that's what the Lions about to do.
I love it.
Got to take some risks.
I love it.
The Bucs are furious because I feel like that's just like the natural landing spot for him.
No, because they're going to be cheesing way more now.
Oh, let's see.
With the 19th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select
the 19th pick. The Bucs actually get my 19th overall prospect. Ooh, I'm going. Brian, I keep pronouncing his first name wrong, but Kalijah. Why do I keep saying Kalijah?
That's a tough one.
Okay. I must have Kalijah, I apologize. Kalijah Cansey. But watch this man for weeks and I can't pronounce his name. But Kalijah Cansey. Okay, let me tell you something about Kalijah. Mans is just a wrecker inside. And you know what? I'm not going to say what everyone's been saying. I'm not going to make the comp, but I'm going to tell you this. You're getting a ferocious, furious, lean, fit through the tackles kind of D lineman. And there's not a lot of guys like that nowadays. There's really never been a lot of guys like that. Very unique player. And on a D line that's already solid, that could be electric with him. I think the Bucs is the perfect spot where, and again, the Bucs are kind of rebuilding from the ground up. We're better than to start in the trenches.
I agree. And that's kind of a nasty duo with him and Vita. Like, if I'm the opposing center and guards, I'm shitting myself.
You get the best of both worlds.
I'm terrified.
It's almost like a new era. I didn't even think about it like that. You just said it, but you're like, who are we double teaming? Like, the guy that's going to come going through my legs, or the guy who's going to push down 2 people.
Vita can take 3 guys at once, and Kalijah's so fast and so quick, he can just squirt right around him. Like, that's a fantastic pick. And I feel like the Bucs are kind of continuing as business as normal. We're going to try and win with Baker. This makes so much sense.
I love it. Did his mic just cut off for a second?
Yeah, my bad. I was adjusting the volume.
No, I just want to make sure.
No, he's good.
I wasn't really saying anything anyway, so. All right. Okay, there. I'm good.
The knobs are just so touchy, bro.
No, I know how it is, bro. They definitely got, like, any knob with all that shit is.
Seattle.
With the 20th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select
Deonte Banks, cornerback from Maryland. And
go.
thinking of duos like our last pick, why not make Tyree Wilson and Deonte Banks, like those are two physical, big, long corners. Bring back the Legion of Boom, baby.
This is
Bring
scary.
them back.
Like,
That's
this
nasty.
This is genuinely concerning, bro. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, this is where I thought you were going to go with the pick. And it's funny enough, I didn't even consider this like even a possibility for whatever reason, like this far in any of my mocks or anything. But this is a home run right here.
It's nasty.
Like, okay, so like you said, the Legion of Boom days. I mean, this is. My mind doesn't know how to process this because I didn't never even considered this pick. Like, I haven't really heard this pick. This pick is just this is a hitter right here.
I think so.
The Seahawks are getting concerning.
their defense just got so much better in the offseason. It's insane.
Oh my God. And they just added Jalen Carter and Deonte Banks. That defense is crazy. And Bobby?
With the 21st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select.
You know what? I'm going to reach for a player right here. But I don't care. I don't care because, like I said, you got to take risks to win in this league.
Yes, sir.
And you know something? The Chargers have a home run at quarterback. You got to protect him. Why not give yourself a chance to protect him with who could be the most high ceiling tackle in this whole class? Give yourself Dewan Jones. Now, hear me out. Like we said, I know he's raw. He's got mitts. He's 6'8". You get him behind a good O-line coach, and he's protecting Justin Herbert. You got a prize. It's not like I'm just throwing you in here protecting some random, some rotational quarterback we're not going to have in a few years. I'm like, you get to protect Jay Herbo. You get to protect our guy. That's our guy for sure. He's not going nowhere. Get in there. It really, and I know it sounds a little dumb, but it's true. It gives you a real objective from day one. You're like, we really could win the Super Bowl. If I step in and get my shit together, we're gone. It gives you a lot of incentive. And I love this spot for him because I didn't really consider this spot for him. I don't think I've mocked this yet or anything, but I love him right here. I just saw it. I'm like, you know what? We're going to take the shot. This is one of those take a shot picks.
I like that pick a lot because you're pretty much set at left tackle. Zion Johnson, the guard you drafted last year, is going to be really good. Corey Linsley, the center, is one of the best. And you get a stud at right tackle. Like, I don't want to make this comparison, but you're building an offensive line that's reminiscent of the Cowboys. And when you have a quarterback like Justin Herbert, what more could you want than a stud offensive line that you don't have to worry about for the next 5 years? You can sign a generic guard free agent every year that pops on, and you're gonna have a good offensive line. And once they don't have to worry about that, so much opens up for him. So much does.
Right, because Trey Pipkins isn't getting the job done right now. I didn't really even say anything, but it's like that's where this is coming from. I mean, you gotta get someone else in there.
I agree.
With the 22nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select
Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Boston College. And in the span of one entire offseason, the Ravens have completely overhauled their entire offensive roster, their skill set, their weapons. OBJ, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and then they got Rashad Bateman coming back. Lamar, you can't not come back when you have the weapons that you've been asking for. Everybody's been asking for. This is your time to shine, to win. Sign the deal. Come back and take the Ravens to the Super Bowl. I would throw some serious money. Maybe not serious money. I'd throw some money on the Ravens Super Bowl odds if they drafted a receiver in the first round.
See, okay, so this is mission save Lamar, and I love it. He knows where he wanted to go with this. We're trying to get Lamar back, and you know what? We saw the FaceTime. It's not like it's out the equation. And I even said on the last show, it's like it seemed like it's out the equation. How's this ever going to work again? I guess signing OBJ, a guy who's he's buddies with, you got a chance to bring him back. And again, like we said, it kind of like he bet on himself, and things didn't go the way he planned. I don't know. Maybe Lamar back in the Ravens, and you get a guy like Zay. Oh, I love Zay. So criminally underrated at this point. It's a lot of good receivers, but I love him. This is just. You get a guaranteed just beast in the slot.
Yeah.
You can play him anywhere too, though.
They need that.
It's like your floor. It's like I at least can always play you in the slot and you're going to eat against that slot corner.
Right.
With the 23rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select.
So again, I said before we recorded that I didn't necessarily know how I felt about him as a first round player, maybe more of a day two player. But then again, the Vikings are the type of team where they can risk kind of taking a shot on someone like this. And I'm sorry, Hunter, it's not your guy. We're not going QB here. Tell me Luke Van Ness
nice
on this Vikings D line Might not be perfect. Again, he got you where you said I don't need him to start every single snap. You could still rotate in and out. But by year 2 or 3, you can be starting every down, and if you're dominating, I love it.
It makes sense. I think like their GM likes that whole analytics matching up with the relative athletic score, and that's exactly what Luke Van Ness is. You're taking a shot on a guy that has elite athleticism, could be a game wrecker, and when you have a first round pick, that's what you need to do. You need to take some shots. So I like this a lot.
With the 24th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select
offensive tackle Anton Harrison. You just lost Jawan Taylor. You need to help and make sure that Trevor Lawrence, your star quarterback, is going to be healthy, going to be upright. I think the weapons that they have now, adding Calvin Ridley, just fit really well with Doug Peterson's scheme. He doesn't need, world beaters on the outside. He just needs a quarterback that can accurately get the ball out of his hands quickly. And I think having an offensive tackle like Anton, who might be the best passer protector out of this group, he might not have the highest ceiling, but I think he might be the most pro ready from this group. I think that's what you want for Jacksonville. You want somebody to step in and make some plays right away.
Literally, I was going to say, I couldn't say it better myself, where he might have the highest ceiling, but you're getting someone who can step in day one for sure and start.
Day one.
He's protected a lot of really good quarterbacks throughout his time over there at Oklahoma.
Right.
He's got the pedigree. And you know what? Pedigree is a real important thing when you want someone to step in on day one.
I agree.
And you know what? That's the thing is the Jags don't necessarily need, like you said, an absolute stud there. We just need someone who can protect Trevor right now. And if we want to make an upgrade in a few years, we can. I need you to be able to step in right now and at least just play a position for me
100%
at an average level, which is what he's going to do at the minimum.
Yeah.
With the 25th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select
Going to Emmanuel Forbes. We were saying, so I was saying we had a little pause there. I know the Giants need a corner. I was taking a look. I'm like, we need a corner more than anything. Give ourselves Emmanuel Forbes, corner with great ball skills, solid against the run, good length. And again, the Giants more than anything, the Giants are getting better and better. The roster's getting better and better. You just got to pick needs, especially later here in the first round. Get yourself a guy that has a good high floor. That's all you can do right here.
I agree. I think he's going to fit really well in Wink Martindale's system too. So they like to blitz a lot. They need corners that can make plays in the ball. Very good press. I think that's a good one, especially a guy that led the league in interceptions in college. That's a ball hawk. They need some ball hawks.
Exactly. They do need some ball hawks.
Yeah.
with the 26th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select
tight end from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer. And this is an interesting pick because he might not be the best tight end in this class, but every single comp I've seen for this guy has been Jason Witten. That just makes too much sense for a Cowboys team that throws the ball a lot, just lost their tight end to free agency, have a vacancy there. And this might be one of the best tight end classes in the last 10 years. So grab a guy in the first round. I think talent-wise, like this, I think he kind of fell. I think he could be a higher pick. I think Kincaid could be a higher pick too. But, you know, tight end's not a premium position. They get a very good player this late in the draft.
Ready, Dobbs?
I'm ready.
With the 27th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select.
I think I'm going to surprise some people here. And I think Bills fans might not even love this pick. But you will love it. You might not love it right now, but you'll love it. Because they've been drafting this position a lot early. But you're going to do it again. You guys are taking Brian Bresee, Clemson. And here's my reasoning. Okay, I know you guys have reached high on a lot of D tackles, in edges, and they have Von Miller too. But Von got injured. A lot of these D tackles, they're playing good, but not playing incredibly elite. Brian Bresee is one of those guys where we know he has a top 10 upside out of this class. He could be just absolutely insane. Inconsistent because injuries, a little bit inconsistently where he played on the line. That's fine. I know I'm getting a fast, elusive, strong, smart player. And you know what? Give him a couple years. Maybe not, again, one of those guys where he's going to pop off right away with a good D-line coach. And he'd be rotating year one and year two. You don't need him on there every snap. Perfect situation for him.
I agree. I feel like a lot of people are calling for another position, but I only really see them addressing the D-line. And Bresee, for falling this far, I think that's a fantastic pick.
He did. Honestly, this is almost like falling at this point for him.
This is kind of wild.
With the 28th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select
tight end from Utah, Dalton Kincaid.
Yes,
I had to do it sooner or later. You know, the Bengals just loading up on weapons. Once they figured out that, hey, having a bunch of offensive weapons and a good quarterback is going to win you a lot of games. They're going to keep leaning into that. Kincaid might have the best ball skills out of this tight end class and could very well be the best tight end in the class and this year. So I think this is a home run pick.
With the 29th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select.
You know, I surprise myself with this pick. I really do. Because especially if you know me in real life, you know that I haven't necessarily been the highest on this guy. But I'll tell you what, sometimes you got to take a shot in the dark, right? And this is me on, if I was a GM, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I don't love that much now, but I love his measurables. I love what he can grow into. I love his pedigree. We love where he's played. We know he's an incredibly smart player, team captain. And you know what? We're going Nolan Smith.
Nice.
Because we need an edge. And you know what? The guys that we drafted at edge that I was really high on haven't panned out for us at all. Maybe it's the guy that I'm not so sure about. So you know what, Nolan? Welcome down. Welcome down to Nolan. Let's go.
That's a really cool pick. I just like Nolan Smith as a football player. Like, he's just a really good football player. And, you can't go wrong with drafting him.
It's only preface because it's like, I don't want to seem like I'm just drafting him because I don't like anything about him. I like a lot of things about him. It's what concerns me about him is I just don't know if he's ever going to necessarily be like a top tier pass rusher, because it reminds me a lot of how I felt about Azeez Ojulari when he came out, very similar, and I feel like it could be a similar panning out. However, though, we get him a little more size on him. I know, again, his floor is just being a really good run defender. Right. He's going to learn from Cam. And you know what? Give him a few years behind Cam. I love it. So this would be one of those spots where I really would not mind it at all.
I like that pick. I do. I knew he was going to go somewhere soon. I like that pick.
Remove the N from his first name. He's meant to be there.
Okay.
Nola Smith.
Let's go.
With the 30th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
Oh, man, I think I know what you're about to do. Right?
Running back from Texas, Bijan Robinson. I had to do it. I had to do it. I'm so against this, but I had to do it. If you're Philly, man, like, you really can't go wrong. You can pick whoever you want here, and they're going to add to your already stacked team. Just from the past couple of years, there's always been a first-round running back. Even when people are saying this is stupid, stop doing it, everybody knows it's not a smart idea to draft a running back that high. It just keeps happening. So if there's one team to do it, Philly can surely afford to draft maybe the best running back prospect in the last 10 years.
I mean, no, seriously, that's the thing is we know how special of a prospect Saquon was. Bijan really does rival him in a lot of ways. And yeah, I think that they had to. I would say you had to take it right here. I love it.
I had to do it at least once.
We had to. There was just no other pick right here that made this much sense. There just wasn't.
I was literally like, when is he going to go? Because there's no way he drops to day 2.
There's no way. No. Someone will take a shot at the end if he falls this far, but because we know he has to go eventually.
I liked him to the Bengals too.
I was thinking about that. I really was.
Yeah, I love Kincaid there too. Like Kincaid, Joe Burrow to Kincaid is a combo.
I think
you can't go wrong.
I think it's tight end or running back for them in the draft.
Yeah,
no, definitely.
It just fits too well.
But something else just fits too well now. Oh man.
With the 31st pick of the I forgot. The Dolphins forfeited. Hold on. With the 31st pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select.
Oh, man. Y'all are going to be cheesing because Jordan Addison fell to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Man. Bro, because I was just saying before the draft, I guess it was kind of before our mock draft, like Jordan Addison's one of those guys he's falling down the boards right now. And I personally just really don't know why. He's kind of, I would say my favorite thing with the receiver, like I said last year about Drake Leonard, was why he's my wide receiver 1, was like, I just like a guy who runs every route like it's his last route. He runs with the ball in his hands like it's the last time he's going to run with the ball in his hands. That's Jordan Addison. Like, that's what I love about him, is that he plays hard every snap. And you get a guy who plays hard every snap to go play for the team that just won the Super Bowl. I'll tell you, that's a pretty good combination.
I mean, I feel like they're just going to keep looking for weapons. And Jordan Addison is a weapon. That's for sure.
He's a big weapon too. I mean, he's got size on him. Like, he's got range. Mahomes is going to be that. They're going to be. He would take Juju's role and, dare I say, even like fill it better than Juju could have on year 1. And that's not that Juju wasn't still a really good receiver. That's just the point. I think that I really like Jordan Addison as a prospect.
I agree. I like that a lot.
Well, that's the first. That's the first round.
Let's go.
Wraps it. What a draft.
Let's go, bro.
What a freaking draft.
Do you want me to recap it, or what do you guys want to do?
I'm game for the recap.
So, first pick, Bryce Young to the Panthers, Stroud to the Texans, Will Anderson to the Cardinals, Anthony Richardson to the Colts, Jalen Carter to the Seahawks, Devon Witherspoon to the Lions, Peter Skronsky to the Raiders, Tyree Wilson to the Falcons, Paris Johnson Jr. to the Bears, Darnell Wright to the Philadelphia Eagles, Broderick Jones to the Titans, Quentin Johnson to the Texans, Miles Murphy to the Jets, JSN to the Patriots, Brian Branch to the Packers, Christian Gonzalez to the Washington Commanders, Joey Porter Jr. to the Steelers, Will Levis to the Lions, Kalijah Cansey to the Bucks, Deontay Banks to the Seahawks, DeJuan Jones to the Chargers, Zay Flowers to the Ravens, Lucas Van Ness to the Vikings, Anton Harrison to the Jaguars, Emmanuel Forbes to the Giants, Michael Mayer to the Cowboys, Brian Breesy to the Bills, Dalton Kincaid to the Bengals, Nolan Smith to the Saints, Bijan Robinson to the Eagles, and Jordan Addison to the Chiefs.
This mock just
What a mock, man. I was saying this before. I'm like, when I do it myself, I don't feel this good about it, but like doing this, like I feel good about this mock.
This like actually really, I know I say this every year, but it's because I feel that way every year. We always were killing the mocks. Like
Sure.
this really feels like you could see a good 60% of this, like for real on day one.
I'm gonna keep
Obviously not gonna be 100%.
I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna have it ready.
Like
I'm gonna
this
have it
one,
ready
we went
inside.
crazy.
Yeah.
We had this. We were thinking how they were thinking. I'm telling you, this was like really in their head for a sec.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
That's a wrap.
Let's go. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.